Good evening. Welcome this evening. I'm glad to see that some people showed up. It was, I don't know, about 5:15, 5:20, and we had like 2 people here. Now, let me just tell you, elementary awards are different, okay? They're beating down the door at 5 o'clock, okay? And an hour ahead of time, they're coming in. But I'm glad to see we have a good crowd here tonight. I'm excited about what we're going to be doing here this evening. So let's go ahead and start with a word of prayer. Father, thank you for this day. Lord, thankful for the life that you've given us. Lord, the very breath that you give us. I pray, Lord, that you'll be honored and glorified above all things here. We have awards here to be given out, but Lord, may your name be lifted up in the lives of each one of these students, each one of these athletes. Well, thank you for it, and we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. I want to start by reading a verse for you because I believe that it is biblical to recognize the accomplishments of those here. And there has been a lot of effort from both the students and the athletes of our academy. In Revelation chapter 22, verse 12, it says, "And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be." The truth of the matter is, we're going to be handing out awards today. Not everyone will receive an award. But this is true, that those who put forth the effort, God sees. And even if you do not receive an award, maybe you don't receive an award that you would have deserved to, God knows the heart. And God knows the effort that you have put in throughout the year. And so I encourage you in that. And that's really what we're here to do. We're here to recognize the accomplishments of our students. So what I'm going to start by doing is explaining the awards and how they are going to be given. First is this: we have 2 groups of awards, if you will. The first, will call them trophy awards. They're the top tier awards. The other are subject awards, which will be the top in each subject. So beginning with academic excellence. Academic excellence, when given, will represent the top overall student average by grade. Right? Now, we do have a minimum requirement for this, and that is a GPA of 3.5 or an A average. And this is an overall student average for the year. Also, outstanding student. The outstanding student is someone who would be academically sound. They'll have exemplary morals and a good work ethic, and then they'll have an overall love for school. The minimum GPA for that is a 3.0, which would be a B average overall. The next trophy award is the Most Improved Award. This is someone who is normally a hard worker. They're going to work hard. They're going to be steadfast in their studies. They're going to be undeterred by difficulty and failure. And because of that, they're really going to reap the benefits of academic improvement throughout the year. And that's what the teachers are looking at for the most improved. Christian character. Christian character is a person who displays Christ-likeness throughout the entire school year. And in both his actions and reactions. A lot of times, and I said this in the other award ceremony, a lot of times it's not necessarily about the action, it's more about the reaction, how they react to the circumstance, whether it be in a positive way or a negative way, given a positive circumstance or a negative circumstance. They will have a meek spirit. They'll be loving, compassionate, and patient with others. And then after that, we have our subject awards. This will be the highest grade in each subject. It is going to exclude the academic excellence and the outstanding student. So it is very possible that, in fact, if someone has an academic excellence award, if they receive that, most likely they're the highest or in most, if not all, of their subjects. So we take them out of the mix, giving them the academic excellence award. The same thing with the outstanding student. Many times that is the case. If there's a small number of students or someone doesn't meet the requirements in order to receive one of these trophy awards, we don't give an award just to give it. So it is something that we believe that is earned. So a young person, if you receive an award from us, we believe that you have earned that award. You worked hard for that. So without further ado, we're going to begin with the award process. As far as the students, if your name is called, we're going to have this be the entry and that be the exit, if you can remember that, okay? So come up this way, receive your award, and you're going to tend to want to come backward, okay? But if you would, please continue the other way, or I'll tackle you and get you going the other way. But no, not really. But I may grab you, okay? And we'll go that way. So as you receive your awards, you'll come up this way. The teachers are going to come up first, and we're going to give the subject awards first for each of the subjects. And then after the subject awards, then we will go with the trophy awards. So we have a couple different secondary teachers. The first teaching our Bible this year is Pastor Luke Shope, and also Pastor Caldwell. Now, I'm assuming that you're going to be giving all of the awards. Am I correct on that? We will see what happens.
Well, Pastor and I did share Bible classes this year. He taught the senior high, I taught the junior high, and sometimes we switched back and forth with one another. And so at some point, we taught both grades or both at the same time. So, and we both taught the same subject matter. And this year, we focused on faith as our subject in our Bible classes and building our faith. And the Hebrews 11:6 was our theme verse. But without faith, it is impossible to please God. And when they leave Lighthouse Baptist Academy one of these days, we don't want them to leave with our faith. We don't want them to even leave with your faith. We want them to leave with their faith and know what they believe out of the Word of God. They're going to need that no matter where they go in life, no matter what college they attend, they're going to need to know what they believe. And so that's our focus in Bible class, and it is my privilege to teach it. I know Pastor feels the same way, and Pastor will say a few words here at the end of the ceremony, but I'm just thrilled with the spiritual temperature of our high school this year. We can't say that every year, but this year we can. And you parents are to be commended for that. Thank you. They came in with a zeal to know about the Word of God. They're not perfect. You already know that. But they had a desire to know God's Word and to learn more about it. And so we're thankful for that. And very attentive in chapel and just a hunger for the Word of God and to know more about it. Questions were great in the Bible classes as well. And so I'm going to give the Bible awards tonight, beginning with 7th grade. The 7th grade Bible award goes to Dylan Varney. Oh man, how many of you were in elementary awards on Tuesday night? Yeah, that stare ascent is much better tonight. The 8th grade Bible award goes to Malia McKenzie. The 9th grade Bible award goes to Peyton Spade. The 10th grade Bible award goes to Mona Carter. And the 11th grade Bible award goes to Bessie Hodge. Thank you.
Next up this evening will be the first year teacher, Mr. Wong, English teacher. Come on up, Mr. Wong.
Dear students, teachers, and parents, it has been my honor to teach 7th through 12th grade students this school year. Honestly speaking, it has been a tough year as this was my first year teaching. But through it all, I have learned how to build relationship and use discretions, at least most of the time. This is and always will be a work in progress. Watching those students as they work hard in my class that caused me to recall my time in high school when memorizing terms, quotations, and grammar usage was a big part of my past. I am very proud of their efforts. And the following, I will give those students who have secondary awards in English. Start from 7th grade. 7th grade, Dylan Varney. 8th grade, Malia McKenzie. 9th grade, Braylon Peterman. 10th grade, Levi Seville. 11th grade, Tyler Benner. Thank you very much.
One thing that we are not doing in this award ceremony is announcing the 12th grade awards. We do have 12th grade awards to be given. They will be given out at the graduation ceremony tomorrow evening. The next teacher up is Mrs. Paul. If you would come up, she teaches our history classes.
So this is not my forte. I'd rather you all be students right now and not adults. So we've had a good year this year. We've done a lot as far as in our classes. This year we completed, one thing we like to do in my class is work on puzzles together. And so we did one puzzle per month this year. We did 9 puzzles total, and we were able to put those together and frame them. They get to earn time to work on those as they complete their work throughout the class period. And so we were able to complete those this year. And then we spent a lot of time learning jokes with each other. We like a lot of dad jokes, so they're funny to me. They might not be funny to you, but we spent a lot of time laughing. And so we had a lot of good times together this year and the things that we learned. One of my favorite histories is one that we did this year in 9th and 10th grade, and that was Baptist history. And we learned a lot about people that had given their lives for their faith and the souls that they were able to lead to Christ, and they were willing to give up many of their freedoms to be able to do so. But many of the other classes, we had fun as well, and the things that we learned with our maps and the different people that we learned about. So let's go ahead and give our awards. The first up for 7th grade is J.P. Clark. eighth grade is Caleb Nicholson. Slow down, Caleb. Ninth grade is Braylon Peterman. Tenth grade is Levi Seville. And 11th grade is Bessie Hodge.
Next up is going to be math. This is my favorite subject. And actually, my wife teaches I guess it would be 7th through 9th grade math. I take the 10th and 11th. The students they think they're done with math in 11th grade, but we actually do physics, and there's quite a bit of math that's in that. So I enjoy teaching that as well. So Mrs. Miller can come up. One thing to note as well, some things are coming to mind as we're handing out these awards. We do have some combined classes, like 7th and 8th. We'll take the same history or the same English. We're giving the awards by grade. So even though we do have two groups in one particular class, we do give the award by grade. Okay, so Mrs. Miller.
Yes, I don't mind coming to the platform 10 minutes early while you finish. That's okay. It has been a fun year. I was able to teach 9th grade this year. I was able to do Algebra 2, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that group of girls moving along up with me. They thought they were finished with me last year, but I grew with them. So they're wondering if I'm going to teach them pre-calc next year. The answer, no. You need to get your dose of Mr. Miller. It'll be fun. I feel like it was a successful year because I didn't throw any of my students out the window. I threatened. I know, right? If you know where my classroom is, it's 2nd story and below is just concrete. So it wouldn't have ended well. But I did threaten mostly my 7th and 8th graders. So I don't think I threatened the 9th graders at all. Not usually. Once. Yeah, it might have been. All right. 7th grade. About halfway through the year, I was looking through the grades and I realized that I had a student who was in the running for the math award. And I don't think he ever thought he was going to be eligible for a math award. He just was, kind of skating through. And I said, listen, if you really apply yourself, you might get there. Well, overheard by his classmate, that's not going to happen on my watch. So it became this dueling match through the second half of the year. What'd you get? No, what'd you get? What'd you get? And they always wanted to know the other person's grade on Headmaster. I said, I can't. That's like OSHA laws or something. I can't give you that. I said, only they can tell you your grade. So it came down, before they took their final exam, they were less than half a point away from each other. So I told them yesterday, I said, listen, guys, when you go to take your exam, you've got to bring your A game, literally, And so they took their exam this morning and their grades were 1.5 points away from each other. So our 7th grade award this year goes to Dakota Walls. Good job. Proud of you. For 8th grade, I didn't quite have the dueling battle that was going on, but we do have a good bit of entitlement, maybe is what I will say, in 8th grade. Like I definitely got this award, and but it was not wrapped up in quite the way they thought it was. So this year's math award goes, I'm reading the wrong line. You said pink, right? Okay. So far I'm good because I remembered that one. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm on pink. There we go. That works. Malia McKenzie. Good job. 9th 10th grade was Algebra 2, and Algebra 2 was my first year teaching Algebra 2. So your first year teaching a subject, you're kind of learning with them. So there were days that we would go in and I'd be like, okay, so over a cup of coffee this morning, Mr. Miller and I discussed this subject. And he says to do it this way, but as I was working it, I like this way better. So I do appreciate having a husband who is a math teacher as well, because we're nerds. So we do have our cup of coffee in the morning and we do discuss math. So, but this year, all of the girls, I had 4 girls in the 9th grade Algebra 2, and it was, for a first year teaching a hard subject like that, it was a great group to go through it with, because all of them really stayed with me and worked hard. And this year's math award goes to Peyton Spade. And yes, it is your name. I read the right color. Good job.
That's not right.
It is right. She was shocked that she ended with A's several quarters, right? Yes.
For logistic, I don't know why I'm doing this. I've got the mic here. For logistic reasons, I'm going to be asking Mrs. Haynes to come up and do the science awards, and then she will be handing out my math awards. So Mrs. Haynes, if you would please come on down. Give her a round of applause as well.
I'd like to begin by thanking each of you guys for allowing me the opportunity to teach your young person science. I always tell my science students, because every year I get the question, why do I need to study science? And I always tell them, you never know when you're going to need to use what you learn in science class. For example, 15 years ago, if you would have said that I was going to teach science, I would have laughed at you. But I have now taught it for 15 years, so you just never know what is going to happen. I have enjoyed each and every one of my classes. This is the year that I love the most because it's studying life. And in almost all my science classes, I got to teach about living things, and that's always exciting. So that means biology happened. And you never know what's going to happen in biology because we're going to dissect. And you just never know how many people might almost pass out or tell me they're going to throw up. You just never know. It's always an adventure when we have the dissecting in biology. So it's always something to look forward to. But I love having each of your young people in my classes. So the 7th grade award this year goes to J.B. Clark. Good job taking your time. The 8th grade award this year goes to Malia McKenzie. This year, my 9th grade class was kind of new for all of us together because it was a new curriculum this year. So like Mrs. Miller said, there's no better class to have to do that than a class of all girls. So the 9th grade class is 5 girls, and it made it a whole lot easier as we went through the book together. They don't like the idea of math being brought into it, but since math is the language of science, I guess we have to deal with it. So my 9th grade recipient is going to be Braylon Peterman. Don't feel pressure. Take your time, take your time.
Okay.
All right, 10th grade was the biology class. The 10th grade recipient for science is going to be Levi Seville. And then the 11th grade recipient is Tyler Benner. Thank you, guys.
Okay, and now We're going to continue with math awards. I get to teach one math class. Depends on what year it is. This year, we're doing geometry, or we did geometry. We're done, right, geometry students? Yes, we are done with geometry. Moving on to pre-calc for those who are in the 10th grade going into the 11th, and also 9th grade going into 10th. So that being said, I do teach a combined class. It is nice because I do have a nice size class that way. We worked our way through geometry this year. Geometry does have value, and I believe it teaches you how to think and how to come at problems from different angles. As far as, when are we ever going to use this? Well, you're going to use your mind for the rest of your life. So you don't have an argument. I think my students know that now, because I don't get that anymore. Okay, I don't get, well, why do I need to do that? They also know that they need to show their work, because I give partial credit, and if you want partial credit when you get a wrong answer, you're going to have to put your work down. And listen, I'll be honest with you, students, I do appreciate you working with me. They help me, the teacher, out when they do what is asked, and they have known what is expected. They've seen me there, and so I'm looking forward to getting the 9th graders this year. So anyways, 10th grade math award. This student many times has surprised me at how he comes at problems. He'll come at something from a different direction. A lot of times I would think his grade was lower than it was, and I'd go into the into headmaster, take a look at the grades, and I'm like, you know what, he does really well. He picked up steam about mid-year and did even better as he went through the year. He has a very good mind. And so the 10th grade math award goes to Jack Shope. Uh, 11th grade, once again, still geometry. This student also, I wish he would put his answers in the blank. I didn't tell him enough to put his answers in the blank, but he did have, it would surprise me, like, well, that's a blank, so I would go to mark it wrong. I'd look to the right, and there was his answer. He had it circled. It was there. I'm like, okay, I'll take it. But he could help me out a little bit more with that. But as far as grading was concerned, but it's been a privilege to have him in class this year, and that is Tyler Benner. At this time, we are going to give our trophy awards. As I mentioned earlier, these trophy awards are academic, outstanding student, most improved, and Christian character. We will begin with 7th grade, and we will work our way up from there. So beginning with 7th grade, we did not have someone who qualified for the academic award. It's there to be had next year, guys. Okay, so work hard for that. But the outstanding student this year receiving an overall 92.7 grade average for the year, Caroline Bennett. Receiving the most improved this year, and I see things from a different perspective. I see them from a numbers perspective. So a lot of times I'll see grades being entered into Headmaster. I'll go through, and I noticed that the grades gradually got better throughout the year, and that's what we're looking for. And this year's most improved goes to J.P. Clark. Congratulations, JP. We're going to move on to 8th grade. Christian character is combined by grades, so 7th and 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th and 12th. So we'll give the Christian character at the end of each group. Moving on to 8th grade, the academic award, having really an astounding average for all of his subjects of a 98.3, Luke Seville. Congratulations. Outstanding student for 8th grade, not far behind with a 97.2 average, Isaac Marlowe. Good job, bud. 8th grade, most improved. And I've seen this not even just over the year, but I've seen this over the years. And this year's most improved goes to Kara Kaufeld. Christian character for 7th and 8th grade. Christian character, as I mentioned, we are looking for those Christ-like qualities in actions and reactions. And this year's Christian character goes to Malia McKenzie. Moving on to 9th grade, the academic award this year, with a 98.7 average, Tressie Hennon. Congratulations, Tressie. Outstanding student, once again, not far behind with a 97.9 grade average, Hannah Miller. Most improved this year for 9th grade is a new student to the Academy this year and has, I can attest, has worked very hard, and that hard work has paid off. It goes to Braylon Peterman. And she said, it's not like I had bad grades, and she is exactly correct. It's not like she was bringing up an F to a C, you know. Beginning with in 10th grade, we go off of grade point average. In the 9th through 12th grade level, they do start to accumulate credits, and in the 10th grade, they have enough that we can go by grade point average. All academic awards from this point on is a 4.0 average, which means they have an A in all of their classes and have had an A in all of their classes for the year. So the 10th grade academic award this year goes to Abigail Miller. Get it when they're passing. 10th grade, outstanding student this year, and I've been privileged to have him in my class as well, and he's done a great job, having a 3.75 grade point average, Aaron Nicholson. Good job, Aaron. Receiving the most improved for 10th grade this year, I saw it in my class, and we've seen it in others as well. And that's an improvement in grades as he's gone through the year, and that is Jack Shope. Congratulations, Jack. Christian character for 9th and 10th grade. Christian character this year goes to Miss Abigail Miller. That was loud. I had to mark through 12th grade awards. I've got them up here. And if I'm not careful, I'll just move right through that. But we want to save that for tomorrow. 11th grade, moving on to 11th grade. Once again, academic award with a 4.0 average. This young man does a great job in all of his subjects. I can remember teaching him in 7th and 8th grade. And I'm going to be honest with you, there were a couple times I was like, I just don't know, I don't know. Because when he didn't get it, he didn't get it. But there's not much anymore that he doesn't get. Very proud of him, Thomas Kayak. Outstanding student for the 11th grade. And this is a very hard worker. He focuses on his studies. He spends the time in doing so. I know he does. I get to see a lot of who they are in the math class just by the work that they put down on the paper. He puts down good work every time. And this is with a 3.63 grade point average, Darian Calevo. And then the last of the trophy awards being given out today is the most improved. Most improved this year for 11th grade. I'm wrong about that. We have Christian character yet, and we will be given that. But most improved will go to Tyler Benner. Christian character this year does go to a student who is in the 11th grade. And he does display Christ-likeness in his attitudes and actions, Thomas Kayak. I'd like to take a moment to recognize those who we think of the primary teachers as someone who makes this work. But to be honest with you, I call them the auxiliary staff. Those are the ones that may either work part-time or do different jobs other than just the regular teaching role. So I'd like to take a moment to recognize them. If you're in the room, please stand. Our aides this year, we had 3 aides, Angie Long, Nikki Federico, and Kayla Rank. If any of you are in the room, if they are, they're hiding. But go ahead and give them a round of applause. They aid in our elementary classes, but anytime something is needed, a lot of times I'll say, hey, can you do this? And they would. I really appreciate them. Also, having a sub list at the beginning of the year. I've learned in the time that I've been administrating, sub lists are very important. In other words, someone I can call on if one of my teachers are sick or not able to make it in. And so I'm going to list the subs. If you're in the room, you may stand as well. Mrs. Debbie DeHaven, Mrs. Marilyn Schraff, Mrs. Monica DeHaven, Mrs. Lois Whitaker, Elizabeth Miller, and Greg Miller. If we have a couple of them, give them a round of applause as well. We also have a group of guys that do the custodial cleaning, and it's students, a student in our academy, and then another one is a homeschooler, and they've been a real blessing here, consistently doing the work that is needed. And I appreciate all of their efforts, Ben Caldwell and Jack Shope. Also performing the maintenance items has been Mr. James Caldwell. Is he in here? I don't know if he is. And it's always been this way. I walk by something, I see something that needs to be done. If I can get it on the list, he'll get it done. And that has been very nice. There's been a lot of things that have been taken care of that wouldn't have been this year unless he was there. So I do appreciate his efforts there. Also, I honestly cannot say enough about the lady that's standing up beside me as an administrative assistant, Mrs. Debbie Haynes. She does a lot around here. Please give her a round of applause. I'd also like to take a moment and just have some special acknowledgements. There are two things that I want to acknowledge here. The first is the ABCS competition. When we went there, we went in many different areas. Our students did a wonderful job. When we came to the awards ceremony, it was a little chaotic. I hope this awards ceremony is running a little smoother, and I don't blame anyone for that. It had been a while since they had done it because of COVID, and there had been administration changes and everything like that, so a lot went on with that. But one of the things that kind of caught me off guard was our Bible quizzers. Our Bible quizzers, many of them memorized 4 chapters in the book of Proverbs. And the entire, all 4 chapters, and the others memorized 2 chapters. So we had many who put efforts in there. Our senior high Bible quiz team ended up winning, and then when it came time for an award, for awards, we went forward. We got this, which is fine, little trophy, okay, to represent that. And I thought that was a little odd. I think they did as well, because what they did was they ended up sending each of the quizzers a trophy, and these trophies are bigger than the one that I received. And I think that is only due them for the amount of work that they put in. So I'd like to take a moment, if they are here, to recognize them. So if you were on the senior high Bible quiz team, if you would please come on down and receive your trophy. Congratulations, guys. I'll be honest with you. We went into the championship thinking we knew more than probably we did, because they jumped up on us real quick and we got very nervous. But these guys did a good job of pulling it together. They only had 10 questions to figure it out. 10 correctly answered questions, and they did. And I'm proud of that. It says a lot for them as well. And they did it as a team. And so I'm proud of them for all the work that they've done. Also, I'd like to take a moment, especially in transition. I think this is a very appropriate time, and recognize the person who is really responsible for all of the athletics that occurred in this season. And so if you would please, Mrs. Paul, come on up. There's a card there for her. There's a card there for her. Thank you. Thank you very much. She did such a good job earlier. We'll let her off the hook for this one right now. We are going to take this time and transition into our sports awards ceremony. And listen, one of the things that we were missing from the whole COVID was our sports program. And listen, life isn't about sports, okay? When I played sports, it meant a lot to me. And I really, I lived for sports at that time, but life is not about sports. Young person, if you haven't figured that out yet, then I hope the Lord teaches you that soon. But I do believe it's an opportunity to both work with athletes, work with students, to help students and athletes learn how to handle situations. As a coach, that's what I use it for. Also camaraderie and how to do the right thing in a given circumstance. And so all of that being said, we missed that in the previous years, and I was glad that we were able to have the sports program this year. We did have volleyball, girls basketball, JV boys basketball, and varsity boys basketball. We did not have soccer this past year. And I think the guys understood that I think they wanted to, but we only had like 3 people sign up on the sign-up sheet. I said, guys, listen, I've done it when we've had 8, and I've begged and pleaded to get a whole bunch of other guys on there. I think we have, like 18 on the sign-up sheet. Not quite, but we have quite a few this year. And I'm looking forward to the upcoming soccer season that we're going to be having next year. But currently, this year we did volleyball, both JV and varsity, girls volleyball, girls basketball, and then JV and varsity boys basketball. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the coaches to come up to say a little bit about the season, and then to recognize the awards. I realize, Mrs. Haynes, that I have missed the honor roll awards. Could you please come back up? Pause the transition. I greatly apologize. I'm flipping through my papers. I'm like, I don't think we have given those. Let's give. These are the year-end the final average honor roll. So this is not fourth quarter honor roll. We will be doing that tomorrow in the awards chapel. That'll be at 9 o'clock. But this is for the overall honor roll. We have AB honor roll, A honor roll, and I believe we also have we have AB honor roll and A honor roll this year. So beginning with 7th grade, as I call your name, you can come up and receive your medallion. 7th grade AB honor roll, Caroline Bennett. J.P. Clark. Dylan Varney. Eighth grade AB honor roll, Kara Koffelt, Jackson Dinkle, and Caleb Nicholson. Ninth grade AB honor roll, Braylon Peterman, Peyton Spade. 10th grade AB honor roll, Aaron Nicholson, Levi Seville. 11th grade AB honor roll, Darian Calabo. Eighth grade A honor roll, Isaac Marlowe. Malia McKenzie. Luke Seville. 9th grade A honor roll, Tressie Hennon. Hannah Miller. 10th grade A honor roll, Abigail Miller. 11th grade A honor roll, Thomas Kayak. Now, let's pick up where we left off with the sports awards. The first coach that I'm going to call up to the stand is actually standing here, so I'm going to call my assistant coach up to be handing out the awards. It'll be the ones that are right there. Volleyball, first row. This season was, in many ways, an unexpected season. We've been off for an entire year, and I was, not to say that I wasn't expecting a lot, but as far as the performance and how we were going to do for the year, I just wasn't sure what was going to happen. I saw these young girls, the older girls as well. They came in and they just did their very best. Out there. That's what we asked of them in practice. I challenge each and one of our athletes to be at as many practices as they possibly can. It can be difficult because with the summer being what it is, there are vacations that are going on, and these athletes did their very best to be there. They worked hard for me. I was very proud of them. We had them down on their, diving for balls, working on their overhand serves, all of that this year. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to come next year. We came into the end of the year tournament, and in that tournament, we ended up with first place. And that was, I saw it coming I'd say I'm a math person, about 2/3 of the way through the year. If I wasn't, I'd say 3/4. But 2/3 of the way through the year. I said, I'm like, you know what? They're getting to be really strong. We've kind of hit our stride. We figured out where everyone fits. And the girls did a great job. The varsity girls did a great job there, ended up with a victory there. So we're going to start with JV awards and then move on to the varsity awards. I have 3 awards that we're going to be giving out for JV. The first award actually is missing here. Now, before I go on, okay, Mrs. Paul, I appreciate her patience. I can't imagine. She said something to me in the teacher meeting. It was a little over a week ago saying, hey, you know, we had placed this order. We placed it in plenty of time. We placed it through, and I'll give their name. I'll tell you why in a minute. We placed it through Trophy Depot. I've done it multiple times. I've not had a problem. They normally ship them out. We check to see if there are any errors, and then they fix them before it is time. They have us put a date down. We hadn't seen them, thought it was a little strange, so she started contacting them, could not get in contact with them. She got in contact with them it was probably half an hour before closing time yesterday. They had not shipped. Okay. That was when I sent out the notice saying that there would not be sports awards to be handed out. I knew it would take a miracle. We went and I told her, listen, here's the plan. This is what we're going to do. You know, I still like to recognize. And she rolled along with it. She did a good job. You know, we had our plan in place. It was about noon. I guess it was about lunchtime this afternoon, something like that. She said, hey, there's a box from Trophy Depot sitting out in the lobby. I said, that's a miracle. And it's a miracle if you have what you need in that box, because Trophy Depot has great reviews unless you don't get your stuff in time. And in time is like a week beforehand. And then they're like, well, you know, they got it to us, but we got half of our awards and so forth and so on. I will say this, Trophy Depot did a wonderful job. They said they couldn't overnight it. They told us that they would be here on Friday. They got it to us here on Thursday. And I do appreciate the efforts on their part. And we were only missing 2 awards, okay? I'll take that as a win. I'm sorry, Malia, one of them is yours because you got Most Improved for JV Volleyball. You come on down. We do have something for you that you will receive. We have 2 $5 Dunkin' Donuts cards for you that you can take with you. We will get the trophy. It just is not able to be handed out today. I will say this, Malia McKenzie has really, she's received the trophy, but I have seen her improve, especially over the last couple of years. She has become more accurate in her bumping. Her court movement has been better, and that is why she is receiving that award. The service award this year in the JV goes to someone who had an extremely consistent overhand serve, and it wasn't just a lofty, like an overhand that looks like an underhand. It was a flat serve. It would fall in bounds, and it doesn't surprise me that a JV player can do that. It surprises me when it falls in bounds as consistently as it did. And for this player, it did. This award goes to Peyton Spade. The Coaches Award this year goes to an athlete that really did show leadership characteristics, and that's what I'm looking for in an athlete. She was constantly asking, hey, what do we need to do next? Not just what she needed to do, what do we need to do as a team? And I appreciate that. She ended up, by the end of the season, she had a very strong spike. It was very effective in the games that we played, both JV and varsity. But this year's JV Coaches Award goes to Miss Tressie Hennon. Moving on to varsity volleyball, I have seen a big improvement in the abilities of this athlete, and that's what you would expect to hear. What surprised me this year was her ability to be able to set, and it was in fact, the softest set that I really have ever coached, definitely, or ever seen. It was very impressive. It almost came naturally for her. This year's Most Improved goes to Mona Carter. We decided to give a hustle award this year in varsity volleyball. Sometimes it's an offensive, defensive, whatever it may be, but we decided to call it a hustle award this year. This person was constantly diving for balls. And it wasn't that they were just diving for balls. They were very accurate once they got to it, being able to bump the ball, get it up, get it to the setter, get it where it needed to go. And her knees proved that she dove. Okay? I got to see them a lot because it is my daughter, Abigail Miller. Coach's Award this year goes to a young lady that really took initiative, took it on herself to help others, and really was a help. Didn't just tell them, hey, you need to do this. It was really encouraging them as well. She encouraged her teammates. She had extremely good court vision that I think it will only play out to be more beneficial in the future. And this year's Coach's Award goes to Alyssa Schraff. I did say that there were 2 awards that weren't shipped. They happen to be in varsity volleyball. This one happens to be the Miss Volleyball Award. We do have, once again, 2 Dunkin' Donut gift cards for you, so I hope it will help. But this young lady was a team captain. She was a leader. She had excellent tipping ability at the net, saved a lot of balls that would have gone into the net. That kind of peaked for her this year. She hustled the balls in many ways, saving balls that wouldn't otherwise have been saved. She instructed her teammates. She encouraged her teammates. I'm very proud of her, Miss Lydia Miller. Next up is the girls basketball. And so I'm going to ask Miss Hessen and Mrs. Feaster to come on up and give those awards. Yes, give them a round of applause.
You ready? I think the last time I stood up giving awards for basketball was pre-COVID, I believe. And I think that season we won 2 whole games, which was an improvement. Exactly. Thank you. It was an improvement because the year before we won 0. So yeah, good job. But this season, Mr. Miller talked about how he saw they're winning the championship in volleyball 2/3 of the way through the season. We got to the last game of the tournament in our season, and we were counting the points of the last shot made because we just weren't sure enough that we had it. Fortunately, we pulled it out, and I'm really proud of you guys because I think I told you before COVID that, if you all stick with it and you keep working hard, stay as a team, you're going to pull it off. And you did really well this season. Now, I panicked a little bit through almost every game, and I was ready to make y'all run monsters right away, but you did very well. So yes, you guys do deserve a hand. All right, so the first award is Most Improved. This player, I think even when I taught her, I said she was like one of those Jack Russell Terriers that is just constantly going and talking and just jumping everywhere. She started out the season like this, but by the end of the season, she had calmed herself down. She knew exactly what I wanted her to do. She became a huge asset, and that is Malia McKenzie. For Coach's Award, this player was always willing to stay behind, after practice or after games to make sure that everything was put away, everything was taken care of. Not that the other members weren't, but she was always the one that really stood out, and she was more than willing to do anything I asked her to do. And so Coach's Award goes to Hannah Miller. Huh? What do you think? For our offensive player, this player liked to shoot for sure, which, you know, any offensive player needs to. Some of the shots were almost from half court, but they did shoot quite a few in the area that they should have and made quite a few. And so offensive award goes to Tressie Hennon. Don't look so shocked. I think I yelled at you a lot. Don't shoot out there. Our defensive player, this one kind of shocked me because when I first started coaching her, I didn't have her in the position that she ended up in, and she was very timid. And so by the time she got to this season, she was like, Ms. Hessen, put me here. I can do it. And I was like, all right, I don't have anybody else for that position. I'll put you back there. She was like a wall underneath the basket. It was great. Like, I had to tell her a couple times, move to this position, but she knew exactly what she was doing. It was fantastic. So that is Lydia Miller. Huh? I know you like that spot. For MVP, this player, I could tell him to do anything. And I mean, I got a lot of, yes, yes. And then it would almost be immediately followed by, wait, hold on, what? But once I explained it to her and she really grasped it, she could do anything I asked her to do on that court. And it was fantastic. I knew if I had her on the court, she was going to get to that ball if she had any possible chance of getting there. And so my MVP is Abby. Abby, you asked me earlier if you could give a speech, right?
Okay.
No, oh, okay. She changed her mind. Sorry. I think that's it. Mr. Miller's going to come back now.
I had the privilege of being able to coach the JV boys this year, and I was assisted by Mr. Ken Ross. So, Brother Ken, if you would come up, I'd appreciate it. And if you could help me hand out these awards, that would be wonderful. It is always a benefit to have someone that sees the things that you don't, especially whenever you're into the game. And I hope I was that for him. I assisted him with the varsity boys. He assisted me for the JV boys, and I appreciate his assistance there. We're going to start with Best Offensive Player for JV boys basketball. This player, it's okay, Ken, you've got time. I'm gonna talk, okay? No, they aren't in order. You're exactly right. This player directed the team on offense when asked to do so. A lot of times you deal with younger players, you don't know the maturity that you're dealing with, but this one really pulled it together. I can remember specifically one game I said, hey, listen, I need you to lead the team, not do your own thing. And man, he came in, he did lead the team, especially in the point guard role. He scored 81 points for an average of a 7.3 point per game scoring average. The next closest was 69 points at a 6.9 point per game average. This year's Best Offensive JV award goes to Dylan Varney. The Best Defensive Award. Best Defensive Award. This is an award that's near and dear to me because I honestly believe that when I was in high school, I played basketball just for the defensive aspect. I didn't get the ball in the hoop as much as other guys did, but I was out there and I was going to fight to get the ball and get it into the hands of those that were out there. This player, I noticed him pretty much right on, and he only got stronger as the time went on. He got smarter as well, and he stole many balls. He was constantly reading the offense. And I tell the guys that, listen, read the eyes of the passer, read the offense. Where are they going to go? It's about anticipation. And he would do that often. He stole, like, as I said, many balls. This year, best defensive goes to Dakota Walls. JV Coaches Award this year. This student received instruction well. In fact, I saw him working on skills that I had mentioned. In fact, I would challenge all of the JV guys to say, listen, you need to do this. You need to do that. Throw this ball up on the backboard to try to get it to hit this position. And I'd see him at lunchtime doing what was asked of him. I saw him improve throughout the year as well, but he went well above and beyond, well outside of the practices and games as well. He'd come up to me and ask me if there was something that he could do, and we did get him plugged in the stat keeping for the varsity boys. I've been very appreciative of someone who is willing to come alongside a coach that way and say, hey, whatever you need, I'm willing to do that. And this year's Coaches Award goes to Isaac Marlowe. Most improved for JV basketball. This athlete, they improved in their coordination. They improved in their skill. They received instruction, especially in regards to shooting. I can remember he came to me and said, hey, what do I need to do to shoot? And I said, listen, this is what you're doing. I suggest bringing it in, tightening it up. And I saw him very quickly do that. He started making shots when he did it. I was proud of him for that. He constantly asked, every time he came off the court, hey, what can I do to improve? And that's what you're looking at for in a most improved athlete. This year goes to Landon DeHaven. The MVP this year goes to a player who was a very good ball handler. He was not afraid to drive to the bucket. Many times he would do that. Good defensive team is going to stop the drive. And if it happened, he'd back it back up and he'd try it again. He was a strong offensive player. He scored 116 points for 11.6 point per game average. He was a solid defensive player. He was an all-around good basketball player. This year's MVP goes to Nicholas Schott. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Brother Ross.
I didn't bring nothing up here with me.
Do the best you can.
Do the best I can.
Oh, was that out loud?
I'm like my daughter. I'm not one to get up here and talk. So I'll make it quick. I'm done. First of all, I want to thank Mrs. Paul, Mr. Miller, allowing me to coach again this year. Appreciate it. And I thank Brother Miller and his help. A lot of coaches have head coaches. They have assistant coaches. They don't use them very much, but I use them a lot. We're a good team, so I'm looking forward to next year. Okay. All right, preacher. I won't take too long. I know we got a few minutes to talk, right? For my Navy joke the other night, I'm just going to take as long as I can. Pastor Luke, you didn't turn the lights up light enough. I can see everybody. Okay, the season was a little slow. I usually like having soccer season because they get them ready for basketball season. Of course, we didn't have a soccer team. And plus, not having a team because of COVID. We had a slow start this year, real slow. But as the year went on, we started working as a team. We worked, and come down to the last few games, especially in the tournament. Guys, I like winning games, but winning in the last 7 seconds it's hard on a man that's my age. Okay, so next year will be different. We'll have more wins next year. We'll be stronger, but we'll have soccer season, hopefully. Praise the Lord. So the season went well. We had a lot of hustlers. The team really enjoyed the running. Then y'all. Yes, coach. Okay, so I'll mark that one down. All right. The first award I'm going to give out tonight, I'm not going to do this in order. This guy is, I don't think he played the year before COVID. He made a decision to play at the last minute before the season started. He wasn't sure who was going to play, but his height really helped us throughout the year. One for him not being there, rebounding underneath and blocking some shots. Some of our games wouldn't have been most improved to what we had done this year. And best rebounder, got it? Okay, Luke Williamson, thank you. I tried to talk to him and fail him this year, so he'll be back next year. Correct? What? You want to stay back? The next award is a Hustle Award. This guy, I've known him for a few years. He's been playing for me for a while. When he first started playing when he was younger, he didn't have no breaks. When he went to go to stop somebody, he just ran them over like playing football. But he has improved over the years. His hustle this year was really valuable for us this year. He did put an effort in playing. He gets really upset at himself because he didn't do what he needs to do. But I'm going to miss him this year. You going to fail this year and stay? No? All right. Hustle Award goes to Ray Haveling. Avalon. Yeah. It's always been that way. Most improved this year. This player had time to play both JV and varsity, up and down. So he, I think it was his first year playing. He's really did. I approve. I'm looking forward for him to play again next year. That goes to Luke LeHaven. I don't think he's here. The Coaches Award. This player's, I've never seen argument out of him. I never seen him get mad. I never get him upset on a game. He played well. He's in practice or in the game. He's always never has a bad attitude. And I'm looking forward to him coming back next year. That's Darian Kivell. I know, I butchered it. I could call you a nickname. All right, MVP player for the year. Had 174 points this year. He averaged 11 points a game. Really led the team. He got upset at himself also a lot because he didn't think he should be in the game. He should be sitting on the bench, not out on the floor. But he always come back in the middle of the game, get himself straight, got the team going back to where it needs to go. And I'm looking forward for him to be back in next year, and that's Thomas Kayak.
This is Paul, if you can come up. We have a couple other awards. We're almost done. I know it is getting late. We'd like to get the rest of these taken care of. The next that we're going to be giving out are the Christian Character Awards. Let me say it. Let me do it this way. I really appreciate these athletes and once again how they react to situations. And both of these athletes, we have a girl Christian character and a boy Christian character. The girl Christian character goes to Abigail Miller. Doesn't mean you have to like losing, by the way, hey? But it's just being able to control yourself in those scenarios. For the guys, and I'll add this to what Coach Ross said. This athlete was in the final game. We were down. We weren't going to win. I really don't believe that was going to happen because they had these players that were scoring, and we said, "Hey, this one player is really killing us." And we called this person's name and said, Can you take him? He said, yes, I can. And he did. And it stopped them from scoring, allowed us to come back. I believe that gave us the victory in that game. Christian character goes to Darian Calabo. We'd like to take a moment very quickly to recognize those who played in the intramurals. So before you come down, we do have a medallion for you. I'd like any coaches of the intramurals, if you would please come down to the front. We have a Dunkin' Donut gift card for you. We're going to give you that, any of the coaches from any of the teams. And then if we're going to hand you the medallions, and as I call the names, if you would go to your coach or coaches, that would be wonderful, okay? So if we could have the four sets of coaches spread out across the front, okay? And we will get you the medallions. So if you are an intramural player, as I call your name, please come on down. Okay? On Haley Spade, Kayla Ranks, and Sherry Spade's team is Wes Spade, Landon Fry, Zeke Rank, Gabe Polly, Brentley Corbin, James Payne, and Owen McLean. I thought this may be the case, but we're going to call them out anyways. Darian Calabo, Tyler Benner, and Ray Heberline's team had Brody Pugh, Andrew Calabo, Logan Spade, Garrett Polly, Elijah Farrell, and Grayson Demasalas. Tracy Stottlemyre and Lydia Miller's team, Michaela Varney, Dakota Walls, Natalie Varney, Evie Ferguson. I was supposed to say, that's not right, but I couldn't think of who it was. Taya Walls, Natalie Varney, Evie Ferguson, Maddie Clark, and Sophia Federico. Troy Kaufelt and Rachel Kaufelt's team, Kendall Kaufelt, Cadence Higdon, Hadley Rank, Cheyenne Schrock, Hannah Avey, and Danny Jennings. I'm looking at the table to see if there's anything else. Yes, you could just leave those right on the stage right here, and you all can have a seat. Thank you for helping us out with the intramural program. It is a joy to see them play. They don't get a lot of experience, but we get them out there, and they learn. They learn in the games is what ends up happening. They have a couple practices, but I'm actually officiating, coaching them while I'm doing it. Hey, you need to do this, box out, pivot, all of those things. Before we wrap up this evening, I'm going to have Pastor Caldwell come up in just a minute, but I'd like to recognize one of our staff members who's now been here for 15 years. And we have a special presentation for him. We started this last year. We gave all of our teachers these 5, 10, 15-year marks, something to remember all of their hard work and efforts that they've been given. So Pastor Shope, if you'd come on down. I don't know what we would do without him. Yeah, do the stairs. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Wrong way. Well played. Before I have Pastor Caldwell come up, I'm going to look down here. Have I missed anything? Looking back over here, I think we're good. Pastor Caldwell, if you could please come and dismiss us in prayer, we'd appreciate that.
Are you ready to go home? My land. I added up. I've been going to awards banquets for 45 years. I think that tops Luke's 15. They're done it 45 years. And I got to looking this afternoon, Brother Miller. The word award is not in the Bible. How's that for an awards banquet closing? But the word reward is in the Bible. The difference is an award is given because of personal achievement. But the word reward deals with the consequence of you being able to achieve something because of somebody else. We're a Christian school. Everything that we do is based on the ability we receive from God. If we give him the honor and glory for it, then it's the reward that we get because of him. And we want to remind ourselves of that constantly, because in this flesh, we have to constantly be humbled. Proud of the young people, I'm proud of their achievements. I didn't get to say much about Bible. The truth of the matter is it's kind of my outlet. High school Bible, now, honestly, junior high isn't my outlet, okay? I can deal with senior high, okay? They actually listen. If they're not asleep, Luke. There you go, buddy. Took me a full semester to get him to smile. I wasn't sure he was with us, but finally he kicked in. We had a good time. I enjoyed Bible. I enjoyed the banquets. I enjoy the achievement of young people. Just want to remind us all, it's all because of Christ. And that's what we're all about. Let's go ahead and bow as we're dismissed this evening. Thank you so much for attending. Thank you for supporting LBA. Thank you for supporting your children. And what a blessing it is to be able to have a part of that reward, which God says is that heritage that we receive through our children. Father, bless as we are dismissed this evening. We thank you. We love you. Father, we thank you for the opportunity not only to be parents, but to be educators, to be teachers, to be able to lead by example. Father, thank you for the staff. And Lord, for these young people who are willing to involve themselves. And Father, to seek righteousness and holiness. Lord, we thank you for them. And bless their lives, Father, through the things that they not only learn here, but the things that they apply once they get into adulthood. And we'll give you the praise and honor for it in Christ's name. Amen.